Welcome to today's functional flow. You'll need your mat. Today I'm pointing out towards you in the camera. However you have yours oriented, that's okay. And you may need a couple of yoga blocks. Just depending on your flexibility, have them nearby, see how you're doing. Okay, so with this one, I'll have you come down to the ground. We'll actually start off in a kneeling position. So I'll have you come up into your knees, nice and comfortable. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with working the lower back to mid back. So you'll bring that left leg up, plant it securely on the ground, nice bend in your knee. You don't wanna have it too much or too little bit, just a nice comfortable corner there. And a pretty decent base of support, so you don't have to have it too narrow. But here in this position, you'll take your right elbow, bring it over to your left knee, and just allow your body to twist and look over your shoulder. If you've seen some of my flows, you know I love this movement. Stretches out everything. You can feel that in your glutes, lower back, hips, even to some degree your knee, trying to keep the stability there. If you can, you use your left hand against your right hand, your right fist, and just try to push yourself a little bit more. Try to look over that shoulder as much as you can. Good. And then come back. Here in this position, what I'll have you do, we're going to try something a little bit of what I call a modified pigeon pose. You may need your yoga block to sit on, but what you're going to do is you're actually going to slide your foot out to the side, bringing your right leg back, and be in relatively this position right here. And you notice for me, I'm a little tight there, and I can't completely sit on the ground. It's a little bit too much. So what I'll do is I'm going to use that yoga block to just allow me to have that for a little bit extra support there. Because what I want us to do is really bring that chest up and try to face forward. If you're coming down and really bent, it's good, but really I'll challenge you to try to come up a little bit more. Feel that stretch a little bit more. And then even your foot, if you can walk it forward a little bit, just to have a little bit more of that stretch there. Oh, that feels good. My hips definitely get tight. You guys know my left hip, he's always tight. And the yoga block, same thing. If you need to, you can adjust it depending. You can sit on it this way. Provides a little bit more height, elevation, not so much of a deep stretch. So whatever's comfortable, try to bring that foot back forward. The goal will be if you're doing this and you're feeling good in this position, we're even holding it for a while right now, you can try to, let's see how if I adjust the yoga block down a little bit. Oh yeah, it makes a difference. But good. Go ahead and take that out. You're gonna slide that leg back behind you. Come into a hands and knees position. And from here, what you're gonna do is work your back again. So bring in your right hand, you're gonna thread the needle through your left hand and allow your shoulder to just rest on the ground. Using your left hand, straighten out that elbow as much as you can to try to provide a little bit more of a movement. Good. And then you'll come back, hands right over here. And if anything, we'll have the toes curled behind, underneath you. Oh yeah, there we go. And I want you just to sit back on your heels, feeling that stretch in your foot. Good. forward. Put your toes flat on the ground. And now really rock your hips as far back as you can go. Feeling that stretch in your knees. Same thing here in this position. If sitting too far down is a little bit much for your knees, you can use the yoga block there in between just to have it as a little chair. Depending on where you're at, you can even have it higher up. But remember, the goal will be is to try to reduce that height a little bit more, because you want to feel a little bit of that stretch there. Not so much that it's uncomfortable, but enough that you can feel a stretch. And same thing with your hands, you can walk them forward a little bit more to get more of a stretch in your shoulders. Good. Then we'll come back up into a kneeling position. Switch it to the other side. Bring that right leg forward. A nice comfortable bend in the leg, 90 degrees more or less, nice little corner. Bring your left elbow over to your right knee. Make a fist with that left hand. Placing your right hand on top of it and just try to twist and look back over your shoulder. Take it a couple of deep breaths here. Again, try to twist a little bit more. Good. Unwind. Bring your hands to the ground and your right foot out to the side. Trying to keep your knee into a relatively 90-degree angle. Again, if you need your yoga block, it's there to sit down on. And allow your left leg to just kind of scoot back and extend back. And bring that chest up. Yeah, this is a good one. It's a good one. Get those glutes moving, stretched out. Take a couple of breaths here. And if you can challenge yourself, changing the height of the block. See how much you can come down. Remember, it should be comfortable that you can stay in that position, but not painful that you're thinking, I gotta move. So if that's a little bit too much, just put the block back or adjust the height of it if you need to. And then with the foot part, just as much as you can will be to try to bring that foot forward, stretching out the rotators of your hip a little bit. Like I said, if you notice my positioning, my hips are always the tight ones. All the running and cycling keeps things tight there. But hey, gotta keep working on it. That's why I love this position. It's a good one. I'll get that flexibility someday. Good. All right. Put the yoga block off to the side. Scoot that leg on back. Now, with that left hand, we'll do that same thing going through the space between your right hand and your right knee. And then using your right hand to just try to help push and rotate as much as you can. A couple of breaths here. Feels good. You come back up, all hands and knees, curling your toes underneath you. Sit back onto your heels, feeling the stretch again in your foot. can show some love to your neck by just keeping things nice and loose and relaxed. Not too rigid or not completely dangling down either, just kind of nice and relaxed. A couple of deep breaths. Good. We'll come back up. Extending the toes out, having a flat foot. Go ahead and rock and sit all the way back as far as you can go. Bring your hands forward for a good stretch in your shoulders. If you can bring your forehead down to the ground. That's a little bit too much, using your yoga block just to rest your head on there. Really just trying to stretch out the knees and shoulders. Good. That'll be it for today.